Students, myself JBN Dr. Arun Kumar Singh, Faculty of Education and Methodology, Jyoti Vidyapeeth, Women's University, Jaipur. I welcome to all of you in my digital class BSc B.Ed JDBC 5th semester. We will discuss the topic altruism. Altruism involves the unselfish concern for other peoples. It involves doing things simply out of desire to help, not because you feel obligate, obligated to out of duty, loyalty, or religious reasons. Prosocial behaviors refers to any action that benefits other peoples, no matter what the motive or how the giver benefits from the action. However, pure altruism involves true selfishness. While all altruist acts are pro-social, not all pro-social behaviors are completely altruistic. For example, we might help others for a variety of reasons such as guilt, obligations, duty, or even for rewards. Explanation of altruism. Psychologists have suggested a number of different explanations for why altruism exists. Firstly, biological reasons. Kin selections. We may be more altruistic towards those we are related to because it increases the odds that our blood relations will survive and transmit their genes to future generations. Nextly, neurological reasons. Altruism activates rewards centers in the brains, and neurobiologists have found that when engaged in an altruistic act, that the pleasure centers of the brain becomes active. And next, social norms. Society rules, norms, and expectations can also influence whether or not people engage in altruistic behaviors. Why should on risk on lives to save a complete strangers? The norms of respectability, a social expectations in which we feel pressured to help others if they have already done some things for us. For example, if your friend loaned you money few weeks ago, you will probably feel completed to reciprocate when he asks for loan of 1000 rupees. Cognitive reasons. While the definition of altruism involves doing for other without rewards, there may still be cognitive incentives that are not obvious. For example, we might help others to relieve out on distress or because being kind to others upholds our views of ourselves as kinds empathetic pupils. Some of the cognitive explanations. Firstly, empathy. Researchers, including Batson etc., suggested that people are more likely to engage in altruistic behavior when they feel empathy for the person who is in distress, a suggestion known as the empathy altruism hypothesis. Secondly, Watson suggests that both empathy and altruism are innate traits, and other researchers have found that children tend to be caused more altruistic as their sense of empathy develops, helping relieves negative feelings. Other experts have proposed that altruistic acts help relieve the negative feelings created by observing someone else in distress, an idea referred to as the negative state relief model. Essentially, seeing another person's in trouble causes us to feel upset, distressed, or uncomfortable. So, helping the person trouble help reduce these negative feelings. Next, comparing the theories, the underlying reasons behind altruism, as well as the questions of whether they are truly such a thing as pure altruism, are two issues hotly concentrated by special psychologists. Do we ever engage in helpful actions for truly altruistic reasons, or are there hidden benefits to the self that guide our altruistic behaviors? Watson suggests that while people do often behave altruistically for selfish reasons, he believes that true altruism is possible. Okay, thank you, students.